Tara looked around, her eyes wide with wonder and sadness. "It's beautiful but also heartbreaking," she said. "So much has changed." Rena pulled out a small device that scanned the area. "Let's focus on our mission," she reminded them. "We need to find out if the Empire is still here." The team moved cautiously through the streets, keeping an eye out for any signs of the enemy. They spotted abandoned vehicles and remnants of human life scattered around. It was a strange mix of memories and loss. As they continued their search, they came across a group of alien soldiers patrolling the area. The warriors quickly ducked behind a crumbling wall, their hearts racing. "What do we do?" Rena whispered, her eyes wide with fear. Marcus thought for a moment. "We observe. We need to gather information about their numbers and movements," he instructed, keeping his voice low. They watched as the alien soldiers communicated with one another. It was clear they were searching for something or someone. Marcus felt a surge of anger. These invaders were taking over their home, and it was time to fight back. After observing for a while, they moved further into the city. Rena's scanning device beeped, indicating that they were nearing a significant energy source. "It's coming from what used to be Central Park," she said, pointing toward the green area that had once been a symbol of life and nature. As they approached the park, they saw a large alien base set up in the center. It was heavily guarded with patrols circling around it. "This is it," Marcus whispered. "We need to figure out how to get closer without being seen." Tara nodded, her mind racing. "We can use the old subway tunnels to sneak in. They might not expect us to come from below." The team quickly made their way to the entrance of the subway station. It was dark and filled with debris, but they moved cautiously. The sounds of the city above them faded, replaced by the echoes of their footsteps. As they navigated through the tunnels, they shared stories about their lives before the fall of Earth. They talked about their families, their dreams, and the things they missed most. It helped strengthen their bond, reminding them of why they were fighting. After what felt like hours, they finally reached a point close to the alien base. The tension in the air was thick as they prepared for the next part of their mission. They knew they were on the brink of something important. This glimpse of Earth was just the beginning. With their hearts racing and adrenaline pumping, they took a deep breath and prepared to gather the information that could change everything. They were ready to reclaim their home, one step at a time. After gathering critical information from their mission in New York City, Marcus, Tara, and Rena returned to the ancient warriors' base. Their hearts were full of hope, but they also carried the weight of the challenges ahead. Dr. Elena Cruz was waiting for them, eager to hear what they had discovered. "Welcome back," Dr. Cruz greeted them. Her eyes sparkled with excitement. "Tell me everything!" Marcus stepped forward, still breathing heavily from the mission. "We found the alien base in Central Park. It's heavily guarded, but we learned a lot about their patrols and defenses," Tara added. "They have more soldiers than we expected, but they seem to be focused on securing the area. They might not be ready for a sudden attack." Dr. Cruz listened carefully, her mind racing with possibilities. "This is good news. If we can catch them off guard, we might have a chance to take back our home," Rena chimed in. "We also discovered an energy source powering their base. If we can disrupt it, we could weaken their defenses significantly." Dr. Cruz nodded, a plan starting to form in her mind. "Let's gather all the warriors. It's time to make our plan for revenge." Soon, the training arena was filled with the ancient warriors, eager to hear the latest news. Dr. Cruz stood at the front, her presence commanding respect. "Today, we stand on the brink of a new beginning for humanity," she began. "Our mission is to take back Earth from the Galactic Empire. We have valuable information and we need to use it wisely." The warriors listened intently as Marcus and his team shared their findings. They described the layout of the alien base, the number of guards, and the crucial energy source. The room buzzed with energy and determination. "We need to divide into teams," Dr. Cruz continued. "One team will create a distraction while another focuses on the energy source. We will hit them fast and hard." Tara raised her hand. "What if the distraction team can't draw enough attention? We need to be sure our plan will work." Dr. Cruz smiled at her concern. "That's why we will use our skills to our advantage. The distraction team will create noise and chaos, forcing the guards to leave their posts. Meanwhile, a small group will slip in to target the energy source." Marcus stepped forward. "I want to lead the team to the energy source. We can do this together." The other warriors nodded and excitement filled the room. Dr. Cruz continued, "We will launch our attack at dawn. The Empire will be caught off guard and we will have the element of surprise on our side. As the warriors began to discuss roles and responsibilities, Rena spoke up. We should also prepare for escape routes. If things go wrong, we need a way to retreat safely. Excellent point, Dr. Cruz said, taking notes. We will identify escape routes before we launch our attack. The planning continued late into the night. Each warrior shared ideas and strategies, their determination growing with every passing minute. They were no longer just ancient fighters. They were a united force ready to reclaim their home. Finally, as the night drew to a close, Dr. Cruz looked at her warriors. Tomorrow we fight not just for ourselves, but for all of humanity. This is our chance to show the Galactic Empire that we will not be pushed around. We will reclaim our Earth. The warriors cheered, their spirits high. They felt a deep sense of purpose and unity. Each one knew that the mission would be dangerous, but they were willing to risk everything for their home. As the sun began to rise the next morning, the warriors gathered in silence, ready for their mission. Dr. Cruz stood before them, her eyes fierce and determined. Remember, we are not just fighting for ourselves. We are fighting for the future of humanity. With a final nod, the teams moved into position. Marcus led the group targeting the energy source, while Tara and Rena joined the distraction team. They could feel the adrenaline pumping through their veins as they approached the alien base, knowing this was the moment they had trained for. As they drew closer, the warriors exchanged glances filled with resolve. The Galactic Empire had taken so much from them, but today, they would fight back. They would show the invaders that humanity was far from defeated. With a united front and unwavering determination, the ancient warriors prepared to unleash their plan for revenge. It was time to take back their Earth. On a distant planet, far from Earth, a hidden colony thrived. This place was not like any other. It was a secret base built by the last remnants of humanity. Inside the base, scientists worked tirelessly, using ancient technology to achieve an important goal. They wanted to bring back the ancient warriors, elite soldiers from a time long gone. These warriors had the power and skills to help humanity reclaim Earth from the Galactic Empire. Dr. Elena Cruz, the lead scientist, was a strong and determined woman. She had spent years studying the history of Earth and the terrible events that led to its fall. She believed that the ancient warriors could make a difference. With their help, humanity could fight back against the empire that had destroyed their home. Every day, she gathered her team to work on the revival process. In a large room filled with machines and bright screens, the scientists prepared for the awakening. They stood in front of rows of capsules. Each capsule contained a sleeping warrior, frozen in time. Dr. Cruz's heart raced with excitement and fear. What if they were successful? What if the warriors were not what they remembered? "Are we ready?" asked one of the scientists, a young man named Jake. He looked nervous but eager. The room was silent as everyone exchanged glances. Finally, Dr. Cruz nodded. "Yes, we are ready. Let's do this." With a press of a button, the machines whirred to life. The capsules lit up with a soft glow. One by one, they began to open, releasing a cloud of mist. The scientists watched, holding their breath. Slowly, the ancient warriors began to awaken. The first warrior emerged from his capsule, his eyes blinking against the bright lights. He looked around, confused and disoriented. His name was Marcus, a soldier known for his bravery. As he stood up, memories flooded back. He remembered the battles he fought and the day Earth fell. "Where am I?" Marcus asked, his voice deep and powerful. "You are safe," Dr. Cruz said, stepping forward. "We brought you back to help us fight against the Galactic Empire." At first, Marcus stared at her, unsure of what to think. The other warriors began to wake up as well, each one experiencing their own confusion. Some were excited, while others felt anger boiling inside them. They had lost everything, and the memory of Earth's destruction was fresh in their minds. As the warriors gathered, Dr. Cruz felt a mix of hope and anxiety. "Listen to me," she said, raising her voice to command attention. "You are the last hope for humanity. The Empire has taken our home, but we will fight back. Together we can reclaim Earth." The warriors looked at one another, and a sense of purpose began to grow. Marcus stepped forward. "We fought for our people once. We can do it again." His words sparked something inside the others. They began to remember their training, their strength, and their unity. The scientists watched in awe as the warriors rallied together. They shared stories of battles fought and friendships made. The warriors felt the fire of their old selves returning. They were no longer just ancient soldiers. They were humanity's last defenders. Dr. Cruz knew this was just the beginning. The warriors would need training to adapt to the new world and the advanced technology they would face. But right now, she was filled with hope. Humanity had returned, and it was time to prepare for the fight of their lives. As the warriors gathered in a circle, they looked at each other with determination. They had one goal: to take back their planet. The anger they felt for the Galactic Empire was strong, and it would fuel their journey ahead. The awakening was just the start. The real battle was yet to come. Together, they would reclaim their home and take revenge for all that was lost. The ancient warriors were back, and they were ready to fight. As the sun rose over the hidden colony, the ancient warriors gathered for their first training session. Dr. Elena Cruz stood in front of them, her heart filled with excitement and concern. She knew they had to be ready for the challenges ahead, but she also understood that they were still adapting to their new reality. "Today you will learn how to work together," Dr. Cruz announced, her voice steady. "We need to build trust and understand each other's strengths." Marcus, the leader of the warriors, stepped forward. He looked around at his fellow soldiers, their faces showing a mix of determination and confusion. "We are warriors," he said. "We fought for Earth before, and we will do it again. Together we will learn to fight as one." The warriors nodded, feeling a sense of unity growing among them. They split into smaller groups, each led by one of the scientists. The training sessions focused on physical skills, teamwork, and strategy. The warriors practiced their combat moves, showcasing their strength and agility. It was clear they had not lost their fighting spirit. As the training progressed, a sudden alarm blared throughout the colony. The loud sound echoed in the training room, causing everyone to freeze in surprise. Dr. Cruz quickly grabbed a communicator. "What's happening?" she demanded, her voice tense. "Scanners detected a small ship approaching our location," one of the scientists reported. "It belongs to the Galactic Empire." Dr. Cruz felt her heart race. This was the moment they had been preparing for. "Warriors, listen up," she shouted, gathering their attention. "We have an unexpected visitor. This is our chance to show our skills." The warriors formed a tight circle, their eyes filled with determination. Marcus stepped forward once more. "We will face them together. We've trained hard, and now we will protect our home." The warriors moved swiftly, following Dr. Cruz's orders. They gathered weapons and prepared for the confrontation. As the ship landed, a cloud of dust filled the air, and the warriors felt the tension rise. They had never faced the Empire since their awakening, and the fear of the unknown loomed over them. The ship's door opened, revealing several alien soldiers clad in dark armor. They stepped out, looking around with cautious eyes. The leader, a tall figure with piercing yellow eyes, stepped forward. "You are trespassing on Galactic Empire territory," he declared in a deep voice. "Surrender now, and we may spare your lives." Marcus stepped forward, his chest puffed with confidence. "We are not afraid of you. We will fight for our home." The alien soldiers exchanged glances, surprised by the warriors' boldness. The leader sneered. "You think you can defeat us? We crushed your kind once, and we will do it again." The tension in the air was thick. The warriors stood firm, ready to defend their home. As the first alien soldier charged forward, Marcus reacted instantly, dodging the attack and countering with a powerful strike. The other warriors followed his lead, engaging the enemy with fierce determination. The battle erupted, and the warriors fought with skill and agility. They moved in perfect harmony, showcasing their training and teamwork. Each warrior remembered their past, feeling the adrenaline rush through them. They fought not just for themselves, but for all of humanity. Dr. Cruz watched in awe as the ancient warriors fought. Their strength and spirit shone brightly, and she felt hope blooming within her. This was what they had trained for. This was the moment they had waited for. The fight continued, with the warriors pushing back the alien soldiers. They had come back for revenge, and they would not back down. The Galactic Empire had underestimated them, and now they were paying the price. As the last alien soldier fell, the warriors stood tall, breathing heavily, but victorious. They looked at each other, realizing they had proven themselves. They were no longer just ancient soldiers. They were the defenders of humanity. Marcus raised his weapon in triumph. "This is just the beginning," he shouted. "We will take back our Earth." Cheers erupted from the warriors as they celebrated their first victory. They knew the fight was far from over, but today they had shown the Galactic Empire that humanity was back and ready to reclaim what was rightfully theirs. After their first battle with the Galactic Empire, the ancient warriors felt a new sense of purpose. They had tasted victory, but Dr. Elena Cruz knew that they needed more than just courage. They needed to be ready for the challenges ahead. The Empire was powerful, and every moment counted. The next day, the training intensified. Dr. Cruz gathered the warriors in a large training arena. The sun shone brightly, and the air buzzed with excitement. "Today we will focus on teamwork and strategy," she announced, her voice clear and strong. "To defeat the Empire, we must learn to work together as one unit." The warriors nodded, their expressions serious. Marcus stood at the front, ready to lead. "Let's show them what we can do," he said, his voice filled with confidence. The training began with basic drills. The warriors practiced their combat skills, sparring with one another. Each warrior had their unique fighting style, and they learned from each other. Marcus taught them how to use their speed to dodge attacks, while another warrior named Tara focused on powerful strikes. They paired up, pushing each other to improve. As the day progressed, Dr. Cruz introduced new weapons and technology they had found in the old ruins of Earth. She explained how to use each tool effectively. The warriors listened carefully, eager to learn. They understood that every piece of equipment could make a difference in battle. After the weapons training, Dr. Cruz gathered everyone for a strategic meeting. They sat in a circle, and she spread out a holographic map of Earth on the ground. "This is our home," she said, pointing to various locations. "The Galactic Empire has bases here, here, and here." Marcus leaned forward, his brow furrowed in thought. "What's the plan, Dr. Cruz?" he asked. "We need to gather intelligence," she explained. "We will send small teams to scout the areas where the Empire is strong. We must learn their weaknesses and figure out how to attack." The warriors looked at each other, nodding in agreement. They were eager to take action, but Dr. Cruz reminded them, "Patience is key. We must be smart about this. A hasty attack could cost us everything." The next few weeks were filled with rigorous training. The warriors grew stronger, faster, and more skilled. They trained in various conditions: rain, heat, and even simulated darkness. Each challenge made them more resilient. They learned to trust one another, forming strong bonds of friendship. One day, during a break in training, Marcus and Tara sat together, catching their breath. "Do you think we can really take back Earth?" Tara asked, looking worried. Marcus smiled, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "We have each other. That's what makes us strong. Together we can face anything." As training continued, the warriors also practiced teamwork through obstacle courses. They had to climb walls, crawl through tight spaces, and navigate through challenging terrains. They quickly learned that they could not rely solely on individual strength. They needed to support one another. During one particularly tough session, a warrior named Rena struggled to climb a high wall. She felt frustrated and began to doubt herself. Marcus noticed and called out to her, "Rena, you've got this! Just take it one step at a time. We're all here for you." Encouraged by his words, Rena took a deep breath and tried again. With the support of her fellow warriors, she made it to the top, feeling a surge of pride. The warriors cheered, celebrating her success as a team. This was not just about individual victories, it was about the strength they gained from each other. As weeks passed, the warriors transformed into a well-oiled machine. They were no longer just ancient fighters. They were a united force ready to take on the Galactic Empire. Their confidence grew with each training session, and they could feel the fire of hope burning bright within them. Dr. Cruz watched with pride as her warriors trained. They were readying themselves for the next step in their journey. Earth awaited them, and together they would reclaim their home. The Empire would soon learn that humanity was back, and they would not go down without a fight. After weeks of training, the ancient warriors were finally ready to take the next step. Dr. Elena Cruz gathered them for an important announcement. The warriors felt a mix of excitement and anxiety as they waited to hear her plan. "Today we will send a small team to Earth," Dr. Cruz said, her voice firm yet encouraging. "This mission will give us a glimpse of what remains and help us gather important information about the Galactic Empire's presence." The warriors exchanged glances, eager for the chance to see their home again. Marcus stepped forward. "Which team will go?" he asked. "I want to be a part of this mission." Dr. Cruz nodded. "I need the best of the best. Marcus, Tara, and Rena will lead the mission. The three of you will scout the area around what was once New York City. It is crucial to understand what the Empire has done to our planet." The selected warriors felt both proud and nervous. This was their chance to reconnect with their past. As they prepared for the mission, they gathered their equipment and weapons. They had trained hard, and now it was time to put their skills to the test. The journey began as they boarded a small scout ship. It was designed for speed and stealth, perfect for their mission. As the ship lifted off, the warriors felt a mix of emotions: anticipation, fear, and determination. They were heading back to Earth, the place they had longed for since their awakening. After a brief flight, the ship landed quietly on a hill overlooking New York City. As they stepped outside, the sight before them took their breath away. The city was a shadow of its former self. Tall buildings stood in ruins, covered in vines and plants that had reclaimed the land. Nature had taken over, but the scars of war were still evident. "This is where we used to live," Marcus said softly, his voice filled with nostalgia. "I can hardly believe it.